And as the phantom drums fade into the desert night of Rajasthan, our journey turns westward toward France, where an opera house hides voices that never left. The Paris Opera House is more than a building. It is a monument to art, ambition, and obsession. Its marble staircases gleam under golden light. Its chandeliers sparkle like constellations suspended above velvet seats. Yet beneath this grandeur lies a legend that refuses to die. Visitors speak of phantom voices rising from empty stages, footsteps echoing across deserted corridors, shadows moving where no one stands. The opera house is alive with echoes, its silence broken by whispers of devotion and obsession. Every corner seems to breathe, every wall seems to listen, every shadow seems to watch. The longer one stays, the stronger the sense that unseen performers linger, rehearsing eternally for an audience that no longer exists. Stagehands tell stories passed down for generations. Curtains sway though no wind stirs. Instruments play themselves, strings vibrating with unseen hands. Mirrors reflect faces that do not belong to the living. Some claim to see a masked figure watching rehearsals, his presence felt but never explained. The opera house is not merely a theater, but a sanctuary of spirits bound eternally to performance. Workers whisper of voices calling their names, of applause erupting in empty halls, of laughter drifting from balconies where no one sits. The building seems to resist silence, filling itself with phantom sound whenever darkness falls. To walk its corridors at night is to step into a performance staged by the dead. Legends trace the haunting to its construction. A worker, crushed beneath stone, is said to have cursed the foundations. His spirit, bound to the walls, lingers in every rehearsal, every performance. Others speak of singers who vowed never to leave, their voices trapped in the rafters, rising in arias that no living throat sings. The opera house became a monument not only to art, but to obsession, where passion binds the living and the dead. Some say the building itself absorbed their devotion, becoming a vessel of memory, a stage where time itself refuses to move forward. The past repeats endlessly, each night replaying performances that ended centuries ago. Visitors describe sudden chills as they walk the corridors. Chandeliers sway, casting shadows that stretch unnaturally. Doors open to reveal empty rooms, yet voices drift from within. Some claim to hear arias sung in forgotten languages, melodies rising from the stage, though no singer stands upon it. The opera house breathes with memory, its silence heavy with sound. Even in daylight, the building seems restless. Tourists report feeling watched, their footsteps echoing louder than expected, their reflections shifting in mirrors. The opera house is never truly empty. It is filled with presence, unseen but undeniable. One traveler recounted sitting in the balcony at midnight. He heard applause, saw curtains rise, and watched the performance unfold with phantom actors. The stage glowed with light, the orchestra played flawlessly, the audience erupted in cheers. Yet when he blinked, the stage was empty, the applause fading into silence. He fled, convinced he had witnessed a performance from another world. Others tell similar stories, of phantom performances replaying themselves, of music rising from nowhere, of audiences that exist only in shadow. The opera house is a theater of memory, staging endless performances for those who dare to listen. Historians dismiss the hauntings as imagination, fueled by the opera's dramatic history. Fires, accidents, and tragedies have marked its past. Yet the building resists rationality. Its stones hum with energy, its halls reverberate with voices, and its silence is never complete. Even in daylight, visitors feel watched, as if unseen eyes follow their every step. Guides speak cautiously, aware that too many stories have proven true. The opera house is not merely haunted. It is possessed by its own history, unable to let go of the devotion that built it. Locals avoid the opera house after dusk. They tell stories of ancestors who entered and never returned, of families cursed for trespassing, of dreams filled with music that never ends. Some believe the opera is a prison, holding spirits bound by devotion, unable to rest until the final curtain falls. Others say it is a gateway, a place where the living and the dead meet in eternal performance. The opera house is feared as much as it is admired, its beauty masking a darkness that refuses to fade. The architecture itself seems designed to trap echoes. Arched halls amplify whispers, balconies magnify applause, and corridors stretch endlessly. The opera is not merely stone and velvet, but a vessel of memory holding centuries of passion and tragedy. Each wall tells a story, each stairway hides a secret, each chandelier reflects more than light. The building is alive, its silence filled with sound, its emptiness filled with presence. To enter is to step into a world where time stands still, where performances never end, where devotion becomes eternal. Those who dare to stay until dawn speak of visions. They see performers assembling, conductors raising batons, audiences applauding. The opera becomes a stage, replaying performances that ended long ago. When the sun rises, the visions fade, leaving only silence and dust. Yet the memory lingers, etched into the minds of those who witnessed it. Some leave changed, convinced they have glimpsed eternity. Others refuse to speak, fearful that the opera's curse will follow them home. Paris's Phantom Opera House is a monument not to music, but to eternal devotion. It is a place where passion binds the living and the dead, where performances never end, and where silence is never truly silent. And as the Phantom aria fades into silence, our journey crosses the Atlantic toward Canada, where a tunnel screams with voices of the past. Upbeat, slightly mysterious intro music fades. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of Canada's most chilling legends. We're heading to Niagara Falls, Ontario, but not for the majestic waterfalls you're thinking of. Instead, we're exploring a place whispered about in hushed tones, a place with a story that has echoed through generations, the Screaming Tunnel. So, what exactly is the Screaming Tunnel? It's a humble-looking limestone passage, built in the early 1800s. It runs under what was once the Grand Trunk Railway lines, which are now part of the Canadian National Railway. Its original purpose was pretty straightforward, to allow people and horse-drawn carriages to pass safely under the busy tracks above, connecting a small farming community. It's about 125 feet long and 16 feet high. During the day, it looks like any other underpass, a bit damp, covered in graffiti, and maybe a little spooky. But as daylight fades, this tunnel takes on a whole new identity. The legend is what draws thousands of curious visitors here every year. There are a few variations of the story, but the most common one is heartbreakingly tragic. It speaks of a young girl who lived in a farmhouse nearby. One night, a fire broke out in her home. Panicked and engulfed in flames, she fled the burning house, desperately seeking help. She ran towards the tunnel, her screams for help piercing the night air. But tragically, she collapsed and perished right in the middle of the dark, cold passageway. Another version of the tale is even darker. It suggests the young girl was running not from a fire, but from a group of assailants. After a brutal attack, they set her clothes on fire to hide the evidence. Her final moments were spent in agony, her screams echoing off the cold stone walls of the very tunnel we're talking about. A third variation paints a picture of a vengeful father. The story goes that after a bitter custody battle, a father lost his daughter to his estranged wife. In a fit of rage and despair, he brought the girl to the tunnel and did the unthinkable. Regardless of which version you hear, they all end the same way, with the spirit of the young girl forever bound to the tunnel, her final, terrified screams trapped within its walls. And this is where the legend truly comes to life. It's said that if you go into the middle of the tunnel after dark and light a wooden match, the flame will be mysteriously blown out by an unseen force. And in that moment of darkness, you'll hear the faint, chilling scream of the girl. Pretty spooky, right? This legend has become so famous that the tunnel was even featured in the 1983 David Cronenberg film, The Dead Zone, based on the Stephen King novel. In the movie, the main character, Johnny Smith, has a vision of a group of kids falling through the ice and drowning, and the tunnel serves as a key location in that chilling sequence. That movie appearance definitely helped catapult the Screaming Tunnel from a local ghost story to an internationally known paranormal hotspot. So, over the years, what have people actually experienced here? Countless paranormal investigators, ghost hunters, and brave tourists have made the pilgrimage to test the legend for themselves. Many report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness and dread as soon as they step inside. Others have mentioned sudden, inexplicable drops in temperature, even on warm summer nights. People have captured strange orbs and mists in their photographs, and some have recorded electronic voice phenomena, or EVPs, which they believe are the disembodied voice of the girl. And what about the match? Well, reports are mixed. Skeptics will tell you that the tunnel is just naturally drafty. It's a long, narrow tube, and any slight breeze from either end will be funneled through the middle, creating a wind tunnel effect that can easily extinguish a small flame. It's a perfectly logical explanation, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. But for every skeptic, there's a believer who swears the air was perfectly still when their match went out. They describe it as a sudden, forceful puff of air, as if someone or something blew it out right in front of them. Some even claim to have felt a cold touch on their hand or shoulder right after the flame died. Beyond the match legend, visitors have reported other strange occurrences. Some have seen a white, misty apparition of a young girl floating at the tunnel's entrance. Others have heard faint whispers or the sound of footsteps on the gravel when no one else is around. There's a persistent feeling of being watched, a heavy presence that seems to linger long after you've well left the tunnel and are safely back in your car. It's this collection of personal experiences that keeps the legend alive and kicking. But let's take a step back and look at the history. Is there any truth to these stories? Local historians have scoured records looking for evidence of a young girl dying in or near the tunnel, but so far, nothing concrete has ever been found. There are no newspaper articles from the time, no police reports, no death certificates that match the details of the legend. This leads many to believe that the story is just that, a story. A piece of local folklore that grew and evolved over time, passed down from one generation to the next, with each telling adding a new, slightly more dramatic detail. It's possible the story was created simply to explain the tunnel's naturally eerie atmosphere. Think about it. It's dark, damp, isolated, and the acoustics are incredible. Every little sound, a dripping drop of water, the crunch of gravel under your feet. The wind whistling through is amplified, distorted, and echoed back at you. It's the perfect setting for your imagination to run wild. Your mind starts playing tricks on you. That gust of wind becomes a ghostly breath. That distant sound becomes a scream. So, is the screaming tunnel really haunted by a tragic spirit? Or is it just a perfect storm of creepy ambience and a powerful local legend? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The truth is, we may never know for sure. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the power of the screaming tunnel isn't about whether the ghosts are real, but about the story itself and how it makes us feel. It taps into our primal fears of the dark, of being alone, and of tragic, unresolved events. It's a place where history, folklore, and our own perceptions all collide. Whether you're a die-hard believer in the paranormal or a staunch skeptic, you can't deny the powerful atmosphere of the place. Walking through that tunnel, especially at night, is an experience that stays with you. You feel the weight of the story, the decades of fear and curiosity that have soaked into its stone walls. If you're thinking of visiting, a few friendly tips. The tunnel is located on Warner Road, and it's actually part of the Bruce Trail, one of Canada's oldest and longest marked footpaths. So during the day, it's a popular spot for hikers. Parking can be a bit tricky, as it's just a small gravel area on the side of a rural road. Be respectful of the area. It's a historical landmark and a natural space, so don't leave any trash behind. And of course, if you go at night, be safe. Bring a flashlight, a reliable one, not just your phone, and maybe go with a friend. It's definitely spookier in a group anyway. So what do you think? Is the screaming tunnel home to a restless spirit? Or is it all just a trick of the wind and the mind? Have you ever been there yourself? If you have, I would absolutely love to hear about your experience. Drop a comment down below and share your story. Did you try the match trick? Did anything strange happen? Let's get a conversation going. The world is full of these incredible places where legends and reality blur, and the Screaming Tunnel of Niagara Falls is one of the most compelling examples. It's a testament to the power of storytelling and our enduring fascination with the unknown. That's all for today's deep dive, everyone. I hope you found this as fascinating as I do. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the mysterious and the unknown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And as the scream echoes in the silence, our journey turns eastward toward Russia, where mines carved into Siberia's earth carry curses of the dead. Deep beneath Siberia's frozen soil lie mines that once promised riches. Gold, silver, coal, and precious stones were pulled from the earth by men who labored in darkness. Yet the mines became tombs as often as they became treasure. Collapses buried workers alive, explosions tore through tunnels, and disease spread among those who toiled without rest. The mines are remembered not for wealth, but for tragedy. Locals say the earth itself grew angry, swallowing those who dared to dig too deep. Legends tell of miners who vanished without a trace. Their lanterns were found still burning, their tools abandoned mid-strike, but no bodies were ever recovered. Some believe the earth claimed them, pulling them into caverns that no map records. Others whisper that spirits of the dead wander the tunnels, luring the living deeper until they too disappear. The mines are not merely abandoned. They are haunted by echoes of toil and despair. Travelers who enter describe hearing picks striking stone, voices shouting orders, and footsteps marching in rhythm. Yet when they search, the tunnels are empty. Lanterns glow without flame, shadows stretch unnaturally, and whispers call their names. Some claim to feel hands tugging at their clothes, pulling them toward unseen depths. The mines breathe with memory, their silence broken by phantom labor that never ends. One explorer wrote of descending into a shaft at midnight. He carried a torch, its light flickering against damp walls. As he walked, he heard chanting, a rhythm of voices rising from the earth. He followed the sound, convinced he would find workers. Instead, he found a cavern filled with bones, arranged as if in ritual. The chanting grew louder, then stopped abruptly. His torch extinguished, and he fled, certain the dead had risen to warn him away. Historians attempt to explain the hauntings. They speak of methane gas igniting lanterns, of echoes amplified by stone, of hallucinations caused by darkness and fear. Yet none can explain the voices, the footsteps, the phantom lights. The mines resist rationality, their silence broken by echoes of tragedy. They are not merely tunnels, but monuments to suffering, places where greed met death. Locals avoid the mines after dusk. They tell stories of ancestors who entered and never returned, of families cursed for trespassing, of dreams filled with cries that wake them in terror. Some believe the mines are prisons, holding spirits bound by toil. Others say they are gateways, places where the living and the dead meet in endless labor. The mines are feared, their silence heavy with dread. Travelers who linger until dawn speak of visions. They see miners striking stone, carrying carts, shouting orders. They reach out, but the figures vanish, leaving only echoes. Some claim to smell smoke, others feel heat against their skin, others see flames flickering along the walls. The mines become a theater of tragedy, replaying labor that never ends, suffering that never fades. The walls themselves seem alive. Water drips like tears, shadows stretch unnaturally, and the stone glows faintly beneath the moon. Some believe the land remembers every strike, every cry, every breath, holding them in stone until eternity. The mines are not merely passages, but monuments to suffering, places where silence becomes sound, where absence becomes presence. Those who dared to stay until dawn describe phantom lights drifting across tunnels, lanterns glowing without flame. Some swear they saw miners standing at the end, their faces pale and distant, their eyes hollow with exhaustion. When approached, they vanish, leaving only silence and wind. The mines are places where tragedy lingers, where cries never fade, where memory becomes eternal. Siberia's cursed mines are monuments not to wealth, but to sorrow. They are places where toil binds the living and the dead, where cries echo endlessly, where silence is never truly silent. And as the echoes of miners fade into the frost, our journey drifts southward, toward Myanmar, where a pagoda stands in shadow, haunted by spirits of devotion. And as the echoes of miners fade into the frost, our journey drifts southward, toward Myanmar, where a pagoda stands in shadow, haunted by spirits of devotion. Bagan's plains stretch endlessly, dotted with thousands of temples and pagodas, each a monument to devotion. Yet among them lies one feared above all, the Shadow Pagoda. By day, its bricks glow beneath the sun, its spire piercing the sky. By night, shadows gather, voices whisper, and figures kneel in prayer, though no living soul enters. Locals say the pagoda is alive, its silence broken by phantom chants that rise like smoke into the heavens. Legends tell of monks who once guarded the pagoda, devoting their lives to endless prayer. When war swept across the land, they vowed to remain, chanting until death. Their bodies were never found, but their voices linger. Travelers describe hearing hymns in forgotten languages, chants rising from the walls themselves. The pagoda became not merely a temple, but a sanctuary of spirits bound eternally to devotion. Some claim to see monks kneeling in shadow, their faces pale and distant, their lips moving silently. When approached, they vanish, leaving only echoes. The pagoda breathes with memory, its silence heavy with presence. One traveler recounted climbing the steps at midnight. He carried a lantern, its flame flickering against ancient stone. As he ascended, he heard chanting, a rhythm of voices rising from the spire. He reached the top, expecting to find monks. Instead, he found emptiness, the chanting louder than ever, then suddenly silence. His lantern extinguished, and he fled, convinced the pagoda itself had spoken. Historians attempt to explain the hauntings. They speak of echoes amplified by stone, of drafts extinguishing flames, of imagination fueled by devotion. Yet none can explain the voices, the shifting statues, the phantom lights. The pagoda resists rationality, its silence broken by echoes of faith. It is not merely brick and mortar, but a vessel of memory, holding centuries of devotion and sacrifice. Locals avoid the pagoda after dusk. They tell stories of ancestors who entered and never returned, of families cursed for trespassing, of dreams filled with chants that wake them in terror. Some believe the pagoda is a prison, holding spirits bound by prayer. Others say it is a gateway, a place where the living and the dead meet in devotion. The pagoda is feared, its silence heavy with dread. Travelers who linger until dawn speak of visions. They see monks walking in procession, chanting prayers that rise like smoke, only to vanish when the sun breaks the horizon. Some claim to smell incense, others feel warmth against their skin, others see flames flickering along the walls. The pagoda becomes a theater of devotion, replaying rituals that never end. The walls themselves seem alive. Shadows stretch unnaturally, carvings glow faintly beneath the moon, and the stone hums with energy. Some believe the land remembers every prayer, every vow, every sacrifice, holding them in stone until eternity. The pagoda is not merely a temple, but a monument to devotion, a place where silence becomes sound, where absence becomes presence. Those who dared to stay until dawn describe phantom lights drifting across the spire, lanterns glowing without flame. Some swear they saw monks standing at the altar, their faces pale and distant, their eyes filled with sorrow. When approached, they vanish, leaving only silence and wind. The pagoda is a place where devotion lingers, where chants never fade, where memory becomes eternal. Bagan's Shadow Pagoda is a monument not to stone, but to faith. It is a place where devotion binds the living and the dead, where chants echo endlessly, where silence is never truly silent. And as the pagoda's shadows dissolve into night, our journey sails southward, toward Tanzania, where an island vanishes beneath the waters of Lake Victoria.